Welcome to the start of a supplier engagement process for the development of new engineering vehicles for London Underground. This presentation has been sent to you as a potential supplier in helping us achieve our aim of developing new vehicles to undertake maintenance and renewal in the deep tube system and the subsurface system of London Underground. This presentation is designed to give you an understanding of the London Underground system, how we currently carry out work, what the aims of this procurement process are, what our thoughts have been to date, and also what the next steps will be in the procurement process. The London Underground system is the oldest in the world. Running modern trains carrying 4 million people per day on infrastructure installed in the early 1900s is a challenge. Our network consists of 900 track kilometres, 45% of which is in tunnel. It's a unique challenge to maintain and renew infrastructure due to the age of the infrastructure and also the space constraints that we face. Additionally, in 2015, some parts of the system will become 24-hour running railways. That is generally in the central part of the system, where London Underground have undertaken to keep the system open on Friday and Saturday nights. So whilst the current access is already tight, we are now embarking on a plant programme that will ensure that we develop new vehicles that can achieve higher work outputs, are quicker to site, quicker to set up, we improve health and safety, and we lower cost. The London Underground system is made up of 3 broad types of construction. First one is what we call open sections, which is sections which are in the outlying parts of London, where there are very few restrictions on the gauge, and most of this area we can run mainline locomotives and wagons. The second area is a subsurface network, which is a 2-track tunnel system skirting around the perimeter of central London. The gauge on this section is restricted and it is less than mainline vehicles. The third section is the deep tube system, which crosses central London. The gauge on this section is extremely tight, and these images show you the difference between mainline, subsurface and deep tube stock. The key to our problems lie in the deep tube system, and this is the area where we suffer highest congestion, highest frequency of trains, least access and least mechanisation to assist us in maintenance and renewal. How we carry out maintenance and renewal work on the deep tube system has remained largely unchanged since the early part of the 20th century. The transportation of 60-foot lengths of rail, points and crossings is all carried out manually. The use of lifting tools such as ironmen is common, and there are occasions where we have to deliver the material to sites which are many miles away from its final installation point. To achieve what is achieved by mainline railways in a single shift can often take 3 or many more shifts. We have to manually transport our tools. We have to set up in very confined conditions. We have to provide power for the worksite, and all of this time is wasted time. The same problems exist on our renewal sites. The ability to store materials and equipment in the deep tube system is extremely limited, and therefore, on a nightly basis, we have to transport men, materials and tools through station infrastructure, escalators and lifts. We put many men into very confined spaces, which increases our health and safety risk. In order to provide sufficient power, we have to provide temporary power solutions, which is an expensive method. Our men operate hand-borne plant, and where we create spoil, this is shoveled into plastic bags and carried away by hand. As a result, the finished product has potential to be of low quality, and our output levels are very low. In order to achieve some solutions to the problems that have just been outlined, we have developed a specification for 2 new vehicles, one for maintenance and one for renewal work. This is predominantly going to be in the deep tube, but it will have applications on the rest of the system. For the maintenance solution, we require it to be able to lift and place onto the track a set of EV switches which are 20.5 metres long and weighs 3.1 tonnes. Therefore, what we're looking for is a clear space created within the vehicle which is 20.5 metres long. It will be able to transport rails, points and crossings directly to the site on any part of London Underground. It will provide all the light and power requirements for a typical shift, and all of the men required to work the machine will be transported with the train. For the Renewals vehicle, we are looking at a vehicle that will mechanise the complete process from end to end. It will increase the length of site which we can tackle on a nightly shift, and it will remove all of the spoiler materials that are created by that shift of work. It will batch concrete on site and deliver it directly into the worksite area. Again, the vehicle will transport all of the men required to operate the machine for that shift to site. To date, we have carried out development works and investigation works to establish whether we believe that there is a vehicle that can achieve all of those requirements. We understand that there is a direct conflict between a vehicle that can get to site passing through a tube system with radii as low as 60 metres and yet can open up a clear span on site of 20.5 metres. That is a challenge. We perceive that there will need to be a vehicle which is short and flexible and will allow it to transit to site, but which can then transform so that it can carry out work on site. We believe that there are elements already on the market in different applications which could be converted and would be a good starting point. But whilst we have developed a concept design that would look something like this train, we know that the true expertise of coming up with a design lies with you, the suppliers. We realise that the development of something like this involves a lot of research and development, and that the methodology procuring it has to be flexible. How we therefore achieve our aims and how we achieve your aims means that we believe we need to engage in supplier discussions. So our procurement process is that we wish now to move forward to engage with you, the suppliers, in a series of confidential discussions so that we can iron out and understand how to achieve the procurement strategy. Once we have completed that process, we will then finally go out to a design and build tender for the full system, both for maintenance and renewal vehicles. Again, I would emphasise that our thinking of how we achieve that will be dictated by the discussions with yourselves. So the next phase is to carry out supplier engagement discussions with yourselves. This will be a series of one-to-one discussions to find out what your thoughts are and make sure that the development process is fit for purpose. We want to ensure that you, the supplier, will be adequately paid in a transparent manner. Intellectual property can be satisfied and managed. We want to incorporate supplier suggestions to achieve a win-win result. We want to ensure that you are incentivised to spend time and effort on this. We want to develop a mature relationship and maintained for the life of the project. The engagement process will be a series of discussions which will be confidential and carried out in London. Where you are unable to come to London, then we would carry those out by means of video conference or Skype facilities. Should you wish to participate, then please send an email to the following address. We see this as an exciting opportunity to tackle issues which have never been solved on the London Underground system, and we believe anywhere in the world. We hope that you agree with us. No matter what your views are about the procurement process, whether you hold reservations or believe that you can only provide part of the solution, then we would love to hear from you.